apple or raspberry and custard pie for just $4.
Congratulations to Order. I mean, that's one of those victories that you kind of like to see, because for Chiefs, it doesn't really mean too much. It's a bit of a break of momentum and a bit of a pride loss, but it doesn't affect their standings. For Order, it means everything at that point.
Yeah, it's the season dream alive, right? Like, it's genuinely a chance to make it to the playoffs. It's still there. Jake's got a big grin on his face.
I'm just a broken man. Thank God I look okay today, because I haven't contributed any content to this show at all.
No,
I've just been a mess.
The big thing about that game was you take a look at level 1 and you're just like, this game is over. Like, the start from Chiefs, genuinely, you kill Karthus level 2, you go topside, you invade his blue again, and it's like that ends up being a reasonable trade for Order, because like Karthus passive, yada yada, but like you think about the Xin Zhao Karthus nightmare, like that was the beginning.
That's it.
Genuinely, that was it. And then it gets to a point, and you asked Spooks about it, but like he buys the Medjais, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I know him personally, and I'm just like, oh, Sammy, holy, like what is this? And then they won the game.
And to be honest, like, not saying that this is the way it would have gone in comps, but there's something to say about a team that has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And Order has proven in the past, when they have nothing to lose, that they play some of their best League of Legends. They said that they went into the gauntlet last split and they had won, like, we had won, I'll speak from Order's perspective, like 4 games versus Mammoth, the entire split in scrims. Like, the scrim record was like 48-4 or something. Like, it was not pretty. And we're like, well, this is like not a foregone conclusion, but like, we're punching up right now against a super team. They won that, they started rolling over. And I think that that was like the nothing to lose mentality. Like, we're coming in with huge underdogs. And, you know, against Chiefs today, we come in as huge underdogs. And I think that that start almost was kind of beneficial, because it's one of those games where it's like, guys, are we going to go out like this? Like, are we just going to let this happen? Or are we going to actually do something? And Swiffer goes back, buys Moby Boots. He gives all of his farm to Sam and says, you know what? I'm a Kiana that's behind playing into a Zonya's user. I'm not doing anything. You take the farm. I'm going to be the jungler for the next 10 minutes. They just run around the map, cause havoc. Like, it's a solo queue game. Everyone's been in...
That wasn't like...
Everyone has been in Chief Swiffer solo queue games like that. I get weekly DMs from general managers about his behavior on Summoner's Rift. But you know what? It worked this time, and I think that that's nothing to take away from the Chiefs. To be fair, the Chiefs weren't playing like League of Legends at that point. They're like trying to play reactionary, whatever the reactionary jump scare game, like as we're not answering side lanes and just being general nuisances over the map. Because I always remember, like, when the Chiefs actually went to IWCQ, they played against a team called the Bangkok Titans. And Spooks was like, I cannot jungle against this team. It is like playing the game with like your monitor turned off. Like there's just no lights on Summoner's Rift. Like they just take away all your vision. And then like the normal thing is like, okay, we have no wards. We'll wait for people to show on lanes. And he's like, they just wouldn't show. Like, just 5 members would sit in fog of war and I would try and do a wolf camp and then they would all kill me at my wolf camp. And I think that that was like an homage and a shout out to like kind of that chaos style League of Legends. Certainly not the default in what you want to see every day, but worked in this best of one.
Yeah, it's certainly not the default. The Karthus getting solo turret top as Kiana's just like shepherding the mid lane.
Running down to contest Dragon.
Yeah.
Like,
it was genuinely
on,
like role switch.
Yeah.
And then also like to continue the trend in terms of games as well, we've had what, like 2 non-50-50 Barons. There was like an 80 HP Xayah Feather gets a Baron. Like there's been so many just like, you want to contest? All right, let's go. Like genuine smite fight where normally it's like Gragas goes over the wall, keep them out, Ali headbutt. Like super weak hits and everyone's just like, all right, dude, let's go. Me and you, 1v1.
Isn't this the most fun though? Like those desperate games, those scrappy
don't know
games.
what's going
like
to
you
happen.
had them against, like when you guys were running the gauntlet versus like Sin and Legacy and things like that. I remember like so many of those scrappy games where like it goes like the meta's thrown out the window. Like if this was a best of 5, next game like Karthus is receiving a ban.
Does level 2 gank swiper, is it successful? Yes, they win. No, they lose.
Yeah, exactly right. Like you're starting to force people onto like strange picks. Like Spooks has played, I think, one other competitive Karthus game in his career, and it was a loss. Like this time around, like it would have been banned next game, like absolutely, because of how much damage it was doing in the mid-late game. And you know, when you have a look at Quinn Rays, talk about a player that I have like so much respect for. Like he does his job even when his job is like so difficult to do in this game. Like he's still marching up mid lane against all odds, like forcing priority with Ayla, like being like they have to show here eventually, like they got to come. And I think like he nearly turned that game back around for them. If he had half an item more in that last team fight, maybe it goes differently.
I also want to say, like, shouts out Ayla, Gragas support. That's a hard matchup to pull off, like in competitive stage, and he actually looks really good. He was canceling like somebody's dash. I think it was like Kiana dash mid-team fight, and like a ton of stuff. But like, yeah, didn't pick up the win. Doesn't mean much for them, but like for Order, season back on track.
And does it do anything to Chiefs? Like, it's a small dip in the momentum, but they're fine.
They
got it.
Dos will walk up, tussle Sammy's hair, and say "you're welcome," and kind of move on with the rest of his life. I think. Like, I don't think any of them are going to lose any sleep over that. They certainly came out, ran a really good tactic into Karthus, didn't pay off, and maybe that's like. In fact, maybe they learn more off the loss. To be honest, because this game means nothing, and it's a really greedy jungle pick that they tried to punish, and maybe that's not the way that the Chiefs will punish a greedy jungle pick in future. Maybe they'll go to something else, because Only is such a good Olaf Kindred player. Like, maybe the Xin Zhao just isn't in the wheelhouse, and it's not ready to dust out for MEO, which is around the corner.
Well, we'll know if it affected them if Swiper's runtime goes down. That I keep seeing.
He's smashing records.
He is a fast boy. I'm intimidated. Don't make him angry, because we'll come after you, and it'll get you, bro. Speaking of banning, though, we have to ban Jake's celebrations. I don't know if you could hear it on broadcast. It's insufferable, Bryce.
It is. It's very loud in my ear hole.
There's this, like... There's this... But he has a way of clapping where it's like...
I clap.
He catches an amount of air that human hands should
that normal
not
hands
catch.
should not be. There's so much power in these.
And it's this crack every time. And then there's this. There's woo! And it's just like Bryce and I are sitting either side of him. It's no bueno.
It's no bueno.
It hurt.
I just cannot believe
it popped
that-
other parts of Bryce.
I can't believe that
Furious.
happiness
Nothing
is not
weird.
tolerated on this broadcast. Of all things to outlaw,
Yeah, well.
are we really going after happiness?
Welcome to the Footloose town, baby. We're banning fun. Anyway.
Should
That's
I
all
get
had
that
to say.
reference?
It's from Footloose.
It's from Footloose. I said the name of the film.
No,
in
I know,
the
but
thing.
like, yeah.
So the mayor tries to ban dancing in Footloose, and that's why Kevin Bacon's like, you
Why
can't stop
called
me.
Footloose? Okay, sure. Now I know. Thanks.
There you go. Now you don't
bud.
need to watch the movie.
Yeah, no.
And you don't have to watch it. Just watch the highlights. Good movie. Amy Plays writes in. Actually, it's Army Plays. Hi, Nick.
Is
what?
it?
Yeah. She
I
sent
thought it was like Am.
was she... Okay,
Like
so...
Anne, but with
okay.
an M?
Okay, so she's... Well, cool.
Can we
So
just get
she's-
to the question as opposed to a name?
Quiet.
No.
She said the phonetic spelling was AH, so R,
Yeah.
and then hyphen MM, and then hyphen EE. So I read that as me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Army
Like
Place.
AH.
AH.
Yeah, it's 100% R.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there you
Weird.
go. Glad we sorted that out. I mean, I had it right the first time. Hi, Nick Boy. Which champion do you think has the coolest weapon? Trying to learn to make props. Would like to make a cool one.
Ooh.
The Kiana blade thing?
Nah.
The circly hula hoop blade? Because you could put the 3 different elementals on it.
Dragon Slayer Pantheon. Allow his idol. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll give
What's
him that.
in the idol?
Tentacles? Yep.
Okay.
Every
like you could
time.
just
What's the answer? Tentacles.
In seriousness, probably either Lucian's guns.
What?
They're cool.
You can't just pick a gun.
No,
That's so normie.
His guns are not guns. They're like plasma pistols. Like, they're
Okay.
actually really cool. There's a statue, I don't know if people have seen it, where Lucian's jumping into a minion like this, and the bullet shot through the minion's head. Right, takes it around to all the big events. It's, like, dope. Like, I love the guns on that statue. And then, if not that, like, maybe Azir's staff. I
Okay.
really like Azir's staff. It looks like intricate and ornate.
I was going to say Angler Jax's fishing rod.
You're an idiot.
I like that.
So,
Because you don't see that coming.
yeah, no.
Fishing
Nobody
rod?
expects the fishing rod to
Imagine if
No
I had a
one's scared
real
of that.
weapon.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just bonks you in the noggin. Hook, line, and sinker. Reels you in. You're gone.
That is how fishing
fishing.
works.
Gone,
Gone
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
You're gone fishing.
Yeah.
Gone fishing. It's the
Yep.
saying. It's also a film starring Danny Glover. And
Not
Joe
Donald
Pesci.
Glover.
Gone fishing.
And also what they do on ESPN after when the playoffs is happening and they
That's
send
true.
them all home
That's true.
on Sports Center or whatever it is.
It is
I
on-
love
it
that
is on
segment.
SportsCenter. It's great.
Yeah.
Also, FBI.
Used to big fan of fishing.
Yeah, he's a big fishing fan.
Victor Wang, huge fishing fan.
For real?
Yeah, he's a big fisherman.
Competitive or like he goes out?
No,
and
he just like goes fishing, like just for a good time.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it's so wholesome.
Must be relaxing.
Can I ask? Is it river fishing, deep sea?
I don't know.
fly
You would
fishing?
I
have
think it's a
to
bit of
ask
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm out of the depth here.
Yeah.
All right. Nathan Lambie writes in, "Hey Nick at the couch, which champion should get a new skin? I think it should be Timo."
No.
Bard. There was like a Reddit thread, and there's like a 1,000-day club. Bloody Bard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring it back. He's got chromas, but
Did
we
they-
need more.
Did they announce in a league?
You've got
skin
Elderwood Bard
post?
coming literally next patch.
Yeah, like I think they said that they're looking at those champs who haven't had one in ages, and I thought they referenced Bard. So there you go.
Katarina needs a new skin.
Yeah, but that champ sucks.
No, she is. There is no more fun you can have playing League of Legends than if you've played a really good warm-up game and locking Cat.
Well, before you get to the game?
No.
Before you have to play
No,
Cat,
so, like,
you
you
have
need-
the good game,
I
you have
know.
the warm-up, and it's like, all right, time to ruin everything. Lock it in.
I know if I run around on Lee Sin, whether I'm in the mood.
Yeah, okay.
And my next game, I'll play Lee Sin, and my next game will be like a Cat or an Italy or something like that, or it'll be a Garen.
yeah.
Based off how that Lee Sin game goes.
boys,
The Kraken Priestess, aka, what was the question? Alawi.
New skin.
what was the
I was
question?
looking at my pen. I don't know what I was doing.
What
really
champ needs a
space.
new
Is
skin?
it even one of those like
um,
headspace bally pens, or
No,
it's just a
I
pen?
don't know what I'm doing. I just got lost
You
myself.
okay?
No. I was gonna say Bard, but I guess if he's getting one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There you go.
What else do I even play?
Kiana.
Kiana
She needs a new skin.
She needs a new skin.
She's
It's
only
about
got one.
time.
There's a lot of real estate.
It's only
there.
been
Yeah.
3 weeks.
She got Chroma's on
she got
release
the-
though.
and she got the arcade one.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. So you've got arcade, and then you've got arcade with chromas.
Yeah.
And there's like 7 chromas across it. And the Onyx chroma, the black chroma, is dope. That is actually one of my favorite skins.
Random, completely irrelevant tidbit. I played Onyxes in a game of Scrabble, used everything, got 90 bajillion points. I just had to flex that right then.
That's
It
nice.
came up. Nobody ever says the word Onyx. Onyxes with an E and an S.
ES.
It's legal. I looked
Multiple
it up.
Onyxes?
God damn. And it was on like
Onyx?
triple letter, triple word.
That's
Z,
amazing.
Y.
What did
God
you put the
damn.
X? Did you put the X or the like?
I think it
something
wasn't
big on the
letter.
triples?
I don't think it was letter. I think it
That's
was like
very
word.
exciting.
There was like double word. And oh my God, it was
That's very exciting.
so good.
That's
I'm
very
so proud.
exciting. I'm
Like,
very
yeah.
comfortable right now.
Hell yeah.
It's very exciting.
Hell yeah, brother.
We got another email from our small friend trapped in a freezer. I mean, she doesn't do any work. She just sends emails. We have a toy dog in store to promote our dog treats we sell. And each week his name changes. He has a little name tag and everything. What are your suggestions for names? Past names have been Angus, Sirloin, and Chuck. Preferably meat related, but really anything goes at this
That's
point.
really good because Angus, Sirloin, and Chuck are all kinds of stuff.
Cuts of meat.
Wow. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
I just thought after you celebrating your Onyxes, you might have needed a moment to catch up. And once again, I'm really not contributing much to the show.
And to be fair, Rusty could be very busy looking at his pen. So
I
we
just-
don't know where
I-
anyone in the room
I
really
just
is.
think we name it like duck. Like just, you know what I mean? Like another animal.
my friend has a rescue greyhound that's called Ducky.
Yeah, okay. That's a cool name. Ducky's kind of
nice.
cute.
I'm a little uncomfortable with this.
I'm about to sneeze, but go on.
Do you want me to wait?
No, go on. I'm trying to hold it so bad because there's no mute button. Continue talking.
There's a mute button down here. Somewhere. Hold on. I got you, Jake. Ready? 3. Oh, I just hit my mic. on.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
It's gone.
Instead of the sneeze, I just rubbed my mic on your shirt. It's fine.
There's a toy dog that's there to promote dog treats, but the dog is named after meat,
Yeah.
which is what I assume the dog treats are made out of.
So call it pig ears.
So there's some sort of like weird, like it's a dog being promoted dog treats that are actually meat. You know what I mean? It's like when a chicken shop, their mascot
Is a
is a chicken,
Well,
and
chicken's
the
a
chicken's
cannibal.
like, "Come to Mr. Crispy's chicken," and it's got a
And eat
smile,
me.
and it's like, does he know what goes on in that?
Well, no,
building?
because chickens are cannibals, so they would eat at the chicken shop.
Are they really?
Yeah, absolutely. If you leave chickens alone with no food, they eat each other.
The
Anyway,
Social
I think
Network,
pig ear is a
great
good
movie.
name.
Piggy is a good name. What did you say?
The Social Network, great movie. Gets in trouble in the Crimson because he fed the chicken the chicken.
That's true. That is true. But are you a cannibal if you don't know that you're eating your own species?
If you're not smart enough to like,
yeah, like
recognize-
if you just kind of like.
Wow, what are you trying to say about chickens?
I think you
They're
know
just
what I'm trying to say
dumb.
about chickens. We're about to hit the max chance.
Nobody
Like, final
calls me
question
chicken.
came in from Raz. Why is Rusty using a replica of Spawn's glasses? He's taking the twin branding a bit seriously.
I literally am not. Like, Are yours round? Are yours circular?
I'm just saying that Raz might be onto something. He called out Hysterics for copying my social media brand, aka non-existent. And now he's going after you for the twin.
There you go. That rounds out the Nick bag. Cannibals, Raz twins. We ranked running at one point. It's been a hell of an OPL. We've got the final game of the day. It is Legacy versus Gravitas.
Yeah.
Bryce, you pointed at me.
It's going to be a big one. Gravitas, you know what I mean? With the Order's victory, they need to get the wins to keep their playoff dreams alive. And Legacy, we're still waiting for the blue shell. They had a very good early game versus Chiefs, but can they get another win, right? Like another win
This
on
would be a
stage
red
is
shell
doubling it.
because
Yeah.
Gravitas are not winning.
And this is
The whole thing.
it would be a red shell because it's one up on the ladder. Very good.
Thank you very much.
good metaphor. But this is the exact matchup that secured us bloody playoffs last time. My boys, Legacy, me and Win Tendale got together, set Denny in a task to be able to lift to a game like this.
Tom Windle now, by the way.
Is it? Tom Windle.
Tom Windle.
So, see whether they can do it again.
And before we go, Fayray101 in the chat says, chickens are cannibals. They also turn into egg eaters sometimes, so got to watch them. I've witnessed them chase down a baby water dragon and beat it to death before eating it.
So chickens should eat chicken eggs, I believe, because it actually has
Like a protein or something?
protein in it, to make their eggshells harder,
Yeah.
which creates better eggs.
Fayray, get back to us on that, and also give your chicken some Lemsip and see what happens. Let's head into the Bankers Champ Select.
Impeccable toss as always. And let's get into, final game of the day, Legacy Gravitas. It's funny because last time we cast this matchup, it was just like, all right, well, it's the bottom two teams facing each other. Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. And now,
We did too.
entirely different story. Gravitas very much need this win to stay in this race, and Legacy looking to red shell someone.
I would name the dog Porter.
Porter?
Yeah, because like a porterhouse cut.
Oh, that is a good
Porter
name.
is a really good name, isn't it? There you go.
I was going to say something
There you
like
go.
short rib, because it's like kind of cute, but also a great cut of meat. Anyways, let's get to
Get a
Champions Select.
short rib.
Yeah, short rib. Shorty. Short rib.
Sorry, I've completely derailed you.
Oh, that's fine. How was the pen, by the way? Did you learn anything?
I just, you ever have those moments where you
you
just,
zone out and you just
I
look at a
didn't
certain
realize
place?
I was staring at the pen, but I just wasn't paying attention to anything else. There was just white noise around me, and then I heard Rusty. I was like,
Have you ever done this in a cafe where you were like thinking about something and you're staring at a direction and then you realize you're looking at a person?
Yeah.
And they look back at you and you're like, oh no. Yeah, it happens to me a lot.
It's very uncomfortable.
It is for all parties involved.
Speaking of uncomfortable, Pulse, I have a feeling that Gravitas will be very uncomfortable in a game like this. Legacy actually had pretty good form when they came into their first game today, though they didn't get the victory, and it's a must-win for Gravitas. Now that Order have won, if they don't win this, there is no chance.
Yep. Really big here for Gravitas. If Gravitas don't win this, they're completely done.
I believe they're just done.
Wow.
They'll have one more game left so they could catch AV and
Correct.
Order on standings. So the only way that, so this isn't them done, right?
Yeah.
But they have to then make sure that they win tomorrow and that no one else wins tomorrow. So 3 extra games that have to be lost, 2 from AV, 1 from Order, for them to be in a 3-way tie.
Yeah, and this is now gaining on territory where we were told, do not discuss.
Well, yeah, it's because it's so complex.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out ourselves. But indeed, Legacy banning away the Azir, Corki, and the Silas. First picking the Akali once again for Chad saw that earlier today. Gravitas Lovers Duo into the bottom lane. Ban away the Kled once again, which was the same story for Bombers, who ran away against Paparazzi earlier today with Yumi and Yasuo.
I really feel like the hovers from Gravitas almost put a strategy into my mind. So it's a possible thing that Legacy have thought a similar idea, is that Sedge and Aurelia are still up. And Aurelia is still a flexible pick for both of these teams, particularly for a side like Gravitas. Pabu is always preferential to those assassin-style champions. And I feel like there's a world where that is actually thought about here. As in the same vein, Yasuo has been banned, so Gragas Yasuo is not possible.
Yeah, not going to happen. Would get at the very least get the Gragas and the Ezreal coming in here from Legacy. Gravitas back over to them, looking for, I believe that's just locked. Yeah, Vladimir.
Yeah, Vladimir secured into the second ban phase now. We have bottom laners, presumably, picked in here. Guts, of course, can be the Gragas, and it isn't Chief, so I would not say that is definitely Gragas support. But right now, it's possible that they actually attack junglers here, and you can see that Gravitas actually are looking towards jungle bans, maybe trying to force the Gragas into that role. Early aggressive junglers, very smart choice to ban those from Guts. Silas, what he played in the first game, isn't available. They didn't go for the first pick there. They prioritized Akali.
Yeah, let's see if it's just another follow-up ban into the jungle. Jarvan comes to mind if you're looking to ban those junglers away from Guts. Early game junglers. Camille taken away here from Pabu, so we'll have to bring something new to the table. I feel like the last, I don't know, million games I've seen of Pabu have been Camille, Camille, Camille.
Yeah, same thing with Paprise though. Aatrox or
Yeah, true.
Kled whenever possible. And I mean, that Camille
Before that
ban
Rumble.
trends to be an enabler for an Aatrox pick. My question there is, will Gravitas pick it away or ban
Or
it away?
ban it, yeah.
And they're keenly aware as well. So the game is on. Top lane champions. Where are we going to go? I'd expect that Pabu will actually get the hard counter pick here as well, being on red side. So it's something blind for Paprise.
Yeah, keep in mind, you know,
Irelia?
Kiana also open. Irelia also
He
a
could
good
be
pick.
the Akali.
Who, for Papra?
Yeah.
For Papras? Yeah. I was talking about Gravitas, but yeah.
Oh no, they just go jungler and then counter.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, is there a flex pick, right, that Legacy could 4-5?
Right. Karthus final ban here. And yeah, over to Gravitas.
Should just be a
Should just
jungler.
be jungle,
Jarvan, probably the free option for them again. Wouldn't be too surprised to see that one. Even though it's an Ezreal and an Akali and a Gragas, you know, they've got a lot of mobility. Jarvan's just a well-rounded pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Gragas already picked up, but, you know, couldn't also be a takeaway from Guts as well. And, yeah, now looking towards Legacy to finish off their lineup. Looking for a jungler / support, plus a solo laner.
This wouldn't be too surprising. It's a pretty weak bottom lane very early. There's a lot of skill shot reliance from an Ezreal to be able to, you know, keep up with a Xayah Rakan in any way, shape, or form, especially level 1. But kill threat's always available with an Alistar locked in. And it also gives them a tank, gives them a front line for their composition. So now they can play kind of anything they want in top lane, which is, I believe, the higher purpose here from Legacy.
And the Gangplank coming in as well for Legacy. Now, to quote Spawn, he says that Alistair right now, mega butthole.
Mega butthole?
That was his exact words.
Really?
Yeah, so do you agree with that assessment?
No. Mega's a lot, you know? Like, I think there is a time and a place to pick the cow, and I feel like Braum would have been the better option in this draft if I was to critique Legacy. But it is an engaged tool, and Guts, you know, Gragas doesn't build tanky, so, you know, having that tankiness is nice. And Alistar is a champion that you can be forgiven for making mistakes on. You can misposition, but you have your ultimate. You know, you can make a poor engage, but you have your ultimate, so you can just walk it out. And, you know, one of those things is, like, it provides you that utility and can be very useful for that. I don't think Alistar is the best champion on the Rift right now. But I don't think Mega Butthole is... That's just a lot of butthole.
You definitely just hit Bryce's entire quota over the split in like 15 seconds. Incredible. Final pick was Kennen for Pabu into the top lane. We'll see if he goes AD or AP. How's the teleport as well? Going to be a triple teleport comp here from Gravitas.
Yeah, Ignite actually seems to be the choice for Chaz in mid lane as well. So looking for the kill threat against the Vladimir. Don't blame him for that as well. 1-3-1, not as possible now, of course, for their respective opponents. It is still possible. Having Harry on the Vladimir. We'll see how they choose to play this one out, though. Of course, it's pretty similar for Gravitas to their earlier game of the day. They've got Engage everywhere. Now they've got something for Pabu that he's had very good teleport flanks on. The Camille can teleport flank, but not to the same level. If he is AP, then it's very impactful. They've got the Jarvan, they've got the Xayah, so their damage mix is viable to do so. And we'll see how he's able to go punishing a pick like the Gangplank that we even saw last game from Order. Weathered the Storm, was actually pretty happy and pretty comfortable against an AD Kennen.
Yeah, indeed. We'll see which one it's going to be. I want to say I'm going to bet on AP, but no, it's going to be press the attack, so it's most likely going to be an AD pickup here, starting with the Dorian's Blade. And yeah, opening up onto the map. And again, very important game for Gravitas to stay in contention. Had the 2 games today. This was a 2-game day, and then tomorrow they'll play their last remaining game. And yeah, up against Legacy. Should be a gimme, but we're all just waiting for that one game where Legacy just say, nope, this is ours, and then take someone out of the running.
There's only a limited amount of games left for them to do that. If ever there was a time for Legacy to play the Red Shell, it'd be this game.
2, yes.
And you can't help but feel like this would be the one. We'll see how they choose to go. We haven't really seen the same Praedyth that we saw in Split 1. And to me, that's the biggest difference. You know, there was a spark in Praedyth in Split 1. Even when they were eliminated, it was like he was getting pentakills. You know, even in games they were losing, he was stealing objectives with his globals on an Ezreal or a Jinx. You know, there were so many things there that felt like he was just ramping up. He also hit rank 1, by the way, at a certain point. But like I just haven't felt that same spark, you know, and that is what scares me the most about Legacy, because I feel like he was a big factor into being a blue shell.
Yeah, right.
Playing them was terrifying in the first split, even though every win mattered. You just didn't know. Like, were they just going to pull a rabbit out and actually smash you?
Well, I can say that he has exceptional RNG.
Oh
He's
my
already
God.
picked up 2 slice sacks of gold. Insanity.
I want to observe him cashing them in as well.
Yeah, me too.
There's 2 types of players, by the way, when it comes to the slice sacks of gold. There are the ones that
Cash them in
cash them
instantly.
in base, and there are the ones that cash them in straight away. I'm a big fan of cashing them in Fog of War, so that people may not even notice that you had them in the first place.
I like to gloat, personally. Obviously works if, you know, you get more. Ooh, Praedyth looking for this early invade.
Yeah, he's gone from red buff to wolves. Hasn't touched another camp on the way, so crossed straight through mid lane and can afford to do so. Guts is the one that has to answer as Chaz is stuck under turret. And Habu is also pushing in top lane very hard. So it's clever, honestly, from the side of Gravitas. He starts on an even side of the map, just late invades with his bottom lane, and then paths to where he will have lane priority on the other side of the map, which makes life difficult for someone like Guts on this Gragas to clear a camp whatsoever.
Yeah, he will get himself a singular blue buff, but because of taking both of the enemy buffs away here, Praedyth's most likely just going to get his red buff here. And that will be triple buffs. Decoy also heading up. Will spot Guts on the way out, so has total vision over what the Gragas is doing right now.
He's now protecting his camps, it looks like, Praedyth, so he may walk over to his wolves, maybe even bot scuttle. It's now 3 minutes and 15 seconds in the game. No mid priority, however. Hayori's not going to be able to rotate. However, Raid and Decoy can. So we'll see how it plays out. Guts is choosing onto the side of caution. Doesn't even want to go near the scuttle. And so still, it's a complete shutout. Guts snuck the blue away. You take that. Abu's hunting.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been very risky even if that had hit, because that would have been at least 2 more auto attacks needed by the cannon to actually finish him up. But he will stop the recall at the very least, which is very frustrating. And we'll be pushing the rest of this way. Praedyth is going to walk off through mid lane once again.
There's never an intent to gank, and the fact that you even got a W is just you take that if you're Hayori. You're like, thank you. That's 25 seconds where I don't actually get hard traded on. But he's just going to go bot side scuttle to top side scuttle. Now, he can very easily path from there to his red side camps and recall, but he hasn't chosen to start a single one of those camps yet. And he still has a significant difference in terms of jungle creeps as a lead. And Guts is moving back onto the map, presumably to get the Gromp as it spawns, or the Wolves as they spawn, but they're not up yet. Like, he is so far behind in map control that, like, his best play right now is to walk in, find Praedyth at the Raptors, maybe take a cheeky couple chickens away, and then move back to your camps. But then you've revealed yourself, and you're like, oh, level 3 jungler, really far behind in CS, and you've kind of opened the floodgates to Praedyth just running at you. His wolves are up.
His wolves are up, indeed. Yeah, the great Jarvan migration from bottom lane to top lane has finally been completed.
He also did chickens instead of Krug's Praedyth, so he doesn't care too much about experience, as he's actually got the gank off here.
Flag drag into flash. Perfect timing onto Papraz, as he was just trying to ward. Stun down as well. Orange out and walks back to turrets, but he's already used teleport. So, yeah, we'll want to try and stick around. Burns through all of his corrupting potion stacks as well, and Pabu puts all of the pressure down. Guts is here just in case of a dive.
And this wave is super rough for Papraz. Look at how many minions there are. If Pabu wanted, he freezes this, you know? Like, at this stage, I think Pabu is more interested in getting the solo kill than forcing the freeze. Guts is actually up here to ensure it gets pushed in. And also because he needs to leech some experience. He hasn't had a jungle camp in bloody years. Not a great start here for Legacy. Fantastic start for Gravitas. Just playing good, clean, basic League of Legends.
Just kind of being very safe, has the call on top of that one as well. And yeah, this will be the full push in now into the top lane, and maybe giving Papraz a bit of time to go back to base and go into the top lane. But such a big differential. 42 before the wave being resolved to 26 here in the top lane. This is going to be Dragon started as well. Infernal Dragon at that here for Gravitas. Mid lane, going to be finally pushing out here. Chaz will actually get the push on to Vladimir.
This dragon will hurt quite a lot, but he has smite, so he'll never die.
Plenty through as well.
But this is what tempo provides you, right? This is the ability to do the dragon uncontested, your opponent's clearing top wave, and that's pretty much free. You know, you've still got the experience lead that you've got from that. What you've bought is Legacy can afford to place control wards on bot side now. They do get some really good vision on the bottom side of the map. Your control ward is inside the dragon pit, so it's actually effectively useless. So that's the cost. But he's able to do that because he has a full jungle to go back to. Guts has only just got all of his camps now back up.
Yeah, good start here for Gravitas, absolutely. Next one's going to be Ocean Dragon. So not quite perfect, but so we'll take that early Infernal for sure. He's teleport back to base by both bot laners. 4 fields completed. Sheen and Tyr also done for Praedyth in the bottom side.
Spiking a little bit there is Praedyth. Now he's going to continue to start to ramp up in terms of relevance and strength. You take that if you're Legacy. It doesn't matter how bad top realistically is, as long as your bot side can make plays. Mid's still farming pretty well. Hit level 6. Wasn't stopped, wasn't contested. But it is always going to hit a point where it just feels like a comfortable lane for a Vladimir, and that's never how you want it to feel. It's all about the first plays on the objectives, but there isn't one to take. And that's the problem. You know, Gravitas play slow, continue to farm a CS lead in top lane. Pabu, very easy win condition for them at this point. Just play around Pabu.
Yeah, who is sitting pretty in the top side with
chilling.
a 24 CS advantage, which has culminated in basically a kill's worth in gold. Praedyth, flag drag Cataclysm into top lane, plus with the Maelstrom on top. Pap rides cannot orange out of a Cataclysm, and that will be first blood over to Pabu.
And that's just the way it works against the Jarvan. You don't have flash, you're always in kill threat. The cannon's able to get in there with the ultimate as well, so locks himself inside the cage to maximize damage output. Also, one thing that Pabu did exceptionally well was to auto-attack the keg. So it even has the presence of mind to hit that keg inside the ultimate where all the chaos is happening. Very well done here from the side of Gravitas. Paprice is ulting the top wave, I believe, to clear it. Just so you can hear the audio cues and you all know what's going on.
The cannon fire. Yeah, ult using the bottom lane as well. And yeah, apart from that, relatively quiet early game. As I say that, immediately Predator gank into the mid lane. Hayri goes into Sanguine Pool, waiting for this ultimate. Guts. Ease and flashes out on Hayri. Cannot... basically just finds that hilarious.
That was just so unexpected. Guts was looking for, it was a good flash from Hayri. I mean, there's 2 ways you could have played that one. You could have just walked up to a Predator and said he has to flash here. We take those, we come back at a later date. We try an ult perhaps to predict the direction he's going to flash towards. We could body slam him, but we missed, and now we're underneath the turret with no escape tool out, so we have to flash away.
It's like one of those multiple choice memes where or D, E into enemy tower, flash away.
You chose D, none of the above.
Yeah, unfortunate. And yeah, that's now flashed down in the early game here for Gragas. Ultimate's still here, but you know, your big tool in the early game is now gone for the next 5 minutes. And yeah, at the very least, it was a bit of pressure here for Chaz. Top lane, Pabu comes in. Papu sprinting back to tower, and Papu's still going to get a lot of auto attacks down as he makes his way over there.
Yeah, these trades, even if it costs health for Pabu, are in his favor because of the lifesteal that he's purchased and the fact that he has enough wave control to auto-attack minions with that lifesteal. There's a lot of damage has been actually sustained down in the bottom lane here on Decoy. No potions either, as his refillable is empty. Legacy with a brief moment of opportunity, and Guts still has his ult.
Coming on down. Decoy's low. Raid.
Raid will probably have to ult.
The jump. Yeah, wall flash. Right the way back to turret.
Yeah, I feel like I would have ulted if I was Raid.
Yeah, right. Dodge out the cast and just walk it back.
Perhaps a little bit of indecision, maybe nerves. I don't want to continue to say these things are nerves, but that was just you know, he chose the longer cooldown. We'll say that.
Absolutely. 2 options to escape it. But flash is 100% going to get you out. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Had Alistair already used his abilities? Because maybe he was scared of like Alistair being close to him. Like he wasn't, but didn't have vision of the Brook. That's the only thing I can think of, which is the reason why he didn't ult, and then it would be Alistair follow-up.
It would have been under turret. There's no way. That's weird.
Hindsight 2020.
Yeah. He chose the safe option. Flash is instant. You can't mess it up.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, mid lane, Vladimir is basically untouched and has essentially perfect farm.
Yeah.
This will become a problem at some point here for Legacy.
I mean, realistically, all of Gravitas have perfect farm. There's only 2 CS difference between AD and mid lane, and there's a kill on top lane to compensate instead. So very much with the clock here are the solo lanes and the farming members of Gravitas. 20 CS also for Prayless, given what happened in the early stages of the jungle. Not too surprised about that one. Prayless doing his best.
Yeah. It's been a pretty quiet early game, but it definitely won't be for the rest of the game. Once these picks start getting to the point where they're looking for a fight, for example, over this dragon perhaps, as Guts is now sprinting towards Hayri.
On the hunt.
Gives him a barrel roll. And Hayri's like, well, my boys are here now, and I am quite happy to go for a fight. Flag drag in the Shroud. He knows he says, so probably just going to release the blood. The ties of blood. Chaz has Hemoplate ticking, shouldn't be enough damage, but it will be healing there as well for Hayri.
Yeah, it was close, but forcing the ultimate out of Akali is still a very big win, and the control they have around River when Dragon is up once again is a blessing for the side of Gravitas. Cool, calm, collected right now, and once again they'll get themselves a free, uncontested objective. But that was off the back of Legacy using their Predator and sprinting in. As thank you for Leash Predator.
Yeah, that one goes down. And yeah, Gravitas just picking up these small leads, small advantages across the board, feeling pretty good about stuff. Quickly approaching first item as well. I imagine pretty much everybody can just hit the first item if they recalled. Vladimir's the first to do so. Prayless. Flag goes down. Guts is here for the counter gang. Decoy actually goes in for it. Gets stunned up underneath tower. Manages to dash back to his AD carry, but has to flash. There's the Feather Storm in response. Guts is still chasing. Doesn't have the ultimate, and yeah, Decoy is just straight up dead.
And that was a really good punish from Api more than anything else. Praetus used his E to go forwards, and Decoy said, well, that's unacceptable, right? Tries to hit the punish on him, but the response is instant from the support of Legacy. Cancels his first dash as well, pulverizes him, and actually stuns him with an auto during the second dash back to his team. So very easy for Guts to close the distance even without his flash. It's only available right about now to hit the cask and knock him down.
Yeah, and I will say from the limited footage we've seen from Api, pretty impressed. And I feel like there's always something that he'll do in laning phase or something that will happen. I'm like, that was pretty good.
Strikes me as an Alistar player. Like, this to me is his comfort zone, like, which, you know, regardless of how good or bad the champion is, you always want to have comfort on stage. So to me, like, yeah, this is a sign of him starting to come into his own on something that is still comfortable for him, which is that nice middle ground.
Rakan earlier today as well from him.
Yeah. Engaged, tanky boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and bottom lane's been pretty good for Legacy since then. Ward over the wall. This is Herald, still not being taken. But everybody is here. Api really wants this ward, but doesn't really want to step into the wall where Jarvan has clearly shown himself.
Guts will take the gambit instead. That was a good little ward, actually, from Api there on the side. They have good control on the red side area. It hasn't been swept by any means from Gravitas. Decoy actually still has his sweeper available, so choosing to hold on to that one, which clearly means, you know, they're not worried. There is no play to be made in the red side jungle. The only thing they can realistically do is start the Herald. And so Prayless is just going to try and be vigilant and see it. And he'll now see that it's being started. Vladimir immediately collapsing. I'd expect it resets.
Yeah, Shelly's getting a bit impatient with this one, and we'll start resetting. Opening up onto Hayri though, but he gets a lot of damage in return. Guts goes into the stopwatch, and Chaz trying to find an avenue into this fight. Jungler's dead. Uses the dash to try and get out of this one, but Prayless is still chasing. Flag drag, flash as well, gets the knock up onto Chaz. Looks for the hop on the wall, but Pabu flashes after the chase. Eased through to close the distance, and ultra attacks for the kill. Pradiv now called out. Will eat the wall. Api is here, should be able to defend against this one, but Pabu was still going on this.
Still hunting.
Gets 3 auto attacks. Api gets him with the combo. Decoy follows through as well. Overall, it will just be that one kill, but now can turn towards the Herald.
Super aggressive is Pabu and trying to really stamp that lead down onto Legacy. It works, of course. They're able to get extra damage down. Herald being secured during all of this time as well. And now they've got the opportunity with no turret plates, unfortunately, though, to summon this Herald and break a turret. Mid lane, a very good option for them. I don't think there's any need to summon it here right now. Yeah. This turret's just boomed. You take that. First turret of the game goes over to them. Now you would expect reset, establish yourself in mid lane as well as bot lane, play that area of the rift. When you've got a Dragon up in 1:20, you've got Herald and Dragon to play with. Very easy for them.
Yeah, pretty easy set play across the board. And yeah, it just looked like Jarvan is deploying onto that side of the map right now. Triple stopwatch is available here for Gravitas. That was stopwatch burnt in the jungle there from Guts. And yeah, Gravitas in a really good situation right now. Good lead in terms of gold. 2 dragons. Another dragon on horizon in 1 minute. Another ocean. And yeah, Herald in hand, ready to go. Mid lane has picked up first item, Death Cap. So,
Yeah.
AP on that
Yeah. It's a whole host of AP coming out there for Harry. Something we're seeing a little bit more of is just rushing the Death Cap before you go for anything else, before even Proto Belts now, as Paprise are in trouble.
Now in a 1 versus 2, actually scrap that 3 versus 1, and Pabu is just straight up caught out in the bottom lane. Hayuri doesn't really want this fight anymore. His top lane is dead, but now turns around, throws out the Hema play, goes into the Sanguine Pool. These are a lot of low health targets. Sonya's out the ultimate, and Guts somehow survives, and that will be 2 kills over to Legacy.
Very low, but not enough to actually get them. Not in a 1v3. You've got Praelus nearby looking to hunt for these kills, but it's an afterthought, really, as Guts just body slammed the wall and unfortunately found himself death. The mid lane turret is dead. That's good news.
It is, and that was Herald, it looks like.
What is happening?
It's still going. Praelus is low. Chaz really wants him. Decoy. It's a bit of damage, and Paprise turns up to the play. Happy behind them, maybe looking for the dive here.
Yeah, maybe threatening. I feel like the set play was simple for them, you know? They can pressure bot side with vision first, get the vision, then start to try and win the 1v1. Gangplank will always lose that to the cannon with the current difference that they seem to have. And then use that to break mid or break bottom.
Yep.
You know, bring one of those lanes to the other and just get Dragon on the disengage if possible. You know, threaten for the turret, bring people around and control wards like that. But they just kind of fight. They get 3-man in bot lane and everyone one at a time from Gravitas trickles in. And that trickling effectively costs them a whole lot of money. Some shutdowns have now gone over to their opponents. And Legacy gets something back, and that's a much-needed respite, given you know how this game has actually gone.
But this will be yet another dragon going over to Gravitas here as well. Pretty much uncontested. Gravitas found himself top lane. Didn't get something done against the Kent. There we go. Now looking towards this bottom lane though. 4-man collapse. Paprise will probably want to just skedaddle out of here. That will be bottom tower going up to Gravitas. That's all outer turrets now down. So nice gold injection.
This is one of those that's more lacking moments for Gravitas. You know, they reassess, they slow down, they get exactly what they're after. Legacy are on the opposite side of the rift right now, playing top side. And that's fair. Baron's up in 45 seconds. They're behind and they've acknowledged that, so they prioritize an area that's more important to them. Breaking an outer turret on the top side of the map, also very valuable. Could be their first turret of the game if they're able to get this. They're about to be out of minions.
They can do it.
There you go. So they've broken a turret now on the top side. Makes it a little bit easier to have some semblance of vision control around the Baron. They're able to get one ward in the Tribush. And one there.
I like that a lot of new champions have like specific auto attack animations against towers. But then you've got Gragas who just does the same thing and attempts to headbutt it.
So does Mundo.
And Mundo.
His
But that
headbutts.
makes sense, you know? Well, I guess it's just for Gragas thematically as well,
Mundo's
right?
my favorite because his crit is a headbutt. Like, he uses his arms, and then if he wants to deal more damage, he headbutts you.
Yeah.
Like, but not like he grabs you and, like, swings his head into you, like full momentum headbutt. He just throws his whole body at the ground.
He does that, I think, for Satan as well, right? As
Yeah, the E attack. It's just so good.
What is your favorite auto attack animation?
Man, that's such a weird question.
It is. It's not something you necessarily think about all the time either. What about Bard? You
No.
can include Meeps in that as well.
Well, Meep slaps are sick. Like, late game Meep slaps are lit, but I feel like, because I do play a lot of mid, I would actually say that, like, Orianna is, like, my most just good, clean, like, standard auto attack. It does more than base damage because of the auto attack passive as well.
Yep.
Like, just feels good.
Yeah, not doing the Baron. Yeah, I would say any melee champion who has 175 range and not 125 range.
Yeah.
pretty much anyone.
Darius has really good auto attacks.
Darius, yeah, very crisp. Yeah, some champions have very crisp auto attacks, and some are just absolutely terrible. Gravitas actually starting off the Baron here. They know there's no edge or ultimate to scout, and they've basically just swept the area of wards.
Yeah, they'll be low from doing this, or at least Praylist will. So if Legacy get here, they could contest, but they've only just spotted at 2,000. Yeah. It's gone, and Gravitas are in the win.
Chaz wants to see if he can get some cleanup kills. Raiders full health. There comes the Gangplank ultimate, but into a Pabu Maelstrom.
Whoa, he got
one around. Does actually take down the AD carry. Decoy gets stunned up. Praylist dodges out the cask, but these are some very low health bars. And the ultimate almost claimed 3. Gets the double kill.
That was really close. Hayri now trying to fight on the backside as well. Arpi most likely to fall. The Kennen gets out with the smallest amount of health. That was real close for Praylist to getting 3. Mark almost popped.
Oh, man. That would have been like the year's highlight play if that had just been a straight-up triple. One true shot. Good as it is, you know, you're not going to argue with a double kill with a true shot barrage, but yeah.
Chaz earned that true shot barrage as well. Somehow, that's one of those pulling a rabbit out of a hat moments. He just mechanics maxed in the face of 4 people to somehow even get that first kill. And you see how it starts. Uses E over the wall. R1, and is just caught here. But somehow, it seems like Gunblade QR and just kills someone instantly. So Raid's gone. And then a good stopwatch from Praylist saves what feels like the inevitable. And Pabu with the shield from Rakan, just a hair's breadth from dead. And thankfully, of course, Hayri is nearby, as the cowbells will not be saving Appy when Exhaust is there. That was so close to 3.
Absolutely. I'm just legitimately sad that it wasn't. But yeah, Chaz, just as you said, rabbit out of a hat moment and gets that kill onto Raid, even though he was just like stunned up in the middle of 4 people. So yeah, we're now 23 minutes in. Yes, the Baron went over to Gravitas, but only on a few members here, and that could have been significantly worse here for Legacy. And now they're collapsing onto the Vladimir in the top lane, trying to get away with this Baron buff. Comes out with the Tides of Blood, flashes away, gets a lot of healing from this one. He's still just trucking, should finally fall into the hands of Pradiv.
Yeah, it takes 4 people to kill 1 Vladimir, though, and he doesn't even have his own Hourglass, nor does he even have his boots upgraded. Running around with brown bags, can still handle them. Just a bit of a mistiming there, honestly, from Legacy. They used the Hex Flash, Pulverize, and the Body Slam at the same time. So they're not able to layer any CC, and an easier trade actually available for Hayri, and that doesn't get better.
Yeah.
That Vladimir only gets stronger, and that only gets worse.
There's also 2 kills on the side of Legacy right there. Papraz and Guts also went down. Opening up the bottom lane for Gravitas to take that tower down and now move towards the Dragon. It will be a 3rd Ocean Dragon here for Gravitas. Which obviously, you know, not optimal, but at the same time when you have triple Ocean Dragon, that is some mad regen.
3 of any dragon is pretty optimal, you would say. As it's not ideal to have a single cloud, but if you have 3, you're actually sprinting around the rift.
It's a lot of extra movement speed.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it becomes a big difference. Like 1 is like you go from top lane to bottom lane. It's a difference of like
3 is I can't even
seconds.
team fight them because if they want to disengage, they just walk away.
Yep.
It's just a nightmare. Because it is in combat movement speed now as well.
It is, yeah.
Would you believe it? Made it a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, statistically, it was already like a good dragon, like even with out of combat movement speed. But then when it became in combat, like it also gave it better rep. You know, it had like it was a dragon with a bad rep. You know, people in solo queue be like, ugh, useless dragon, never gonna go for it. But now, yeah, really strong. And speaking of, we have one coming up in about 4 minutes.
Like a swordsmith, you know, like a good swordsmith. Underappreciated. Was good though. And then Game of Thrones came out.
Sure.
And then he was cool.
Were swordsmiths ever underrated? They
literally
literally armed to like
I don't know.
armies in the medieval age.
Well, I mean, modern days.
Oh, fair. Ooh, bottom lane, Papraz low. The ultimate cross onto Pabu. We kind of, you know, to be continued top lane, but it's fine. He survived. And yeah, no deaths. Everyone low, but no deaths.
Kratos is striking true, however, with all of his skill shots that he's now starting to throw around. 3-0-1 on this Ezreal, very close to a 3rd item. So actually in a pretty good spot is the AD carry of Legacy. And this, to me, is that, like, that spark that we were talking about at the start of the game. Something that just felt missing from Legacy. It seems like it's finally arrived. And unfortunately, it's in one of those 6K deficit games, but this is one of those moments where I don't want to count chickens before they hatch, and I want to look at Praedyth and say that he's always got this potential there. Gravitas definitely commanding the game, still control of the Rift, putting themselves in a game that they can control their own destiny of in the best chance possible to make the gauntlet of the OPL. But Legacy will go down fighting, they will go down swinging, and Praedyth's the man to look at.
Yeah, you know, as we were saying, important game for Gravitas. This is what they need to actually just stay in playoff contention. And Legacy, not going to give it up without a fight. Mid lane's about to hit, well, hopefully not going to die, but about to hit death cap as well. So that's going to be a massive spike into the mid lane also.
It's barely a pixel off dodging that knock up there, actually, with Chaz is always going.
Goes in for the engage. Appy with the knock-up into the Sanguine pool. Hayri trying to finish off this kill in the 1 versus 4 now. But Vladimir is dead. And Legacy keep their end up of the bargain there.
Careful.
Walking into their own jungle and just catching Appy. A little overconfident, overzealous after they got that 1 kill. And now trade.
League of Legends 101, Pulse. You got to wait for them to show on waves, or you've got to push the waves for them to show. But they don't. They sit in the jungle, and Appy unfortunately face checks that one with Guts, who was lucky to get the body slam out in time. And a good check this time from Praedyth will spot them. Gragas also has his Qs to throw, so navigating the jungle slowly will be the name of the game here for Legacy. Placing wards one at a time. The infamous control ward bush that we were talking about will be heavily controlled. Baron has actually been started and spotted.
Spotted out, so I imagine Legacy will contest
They've
this
just
one.
teleported with no idea if it's still being done.
Ultimate's going to go right in the middle of Gravitas.
Was that teleport
nobody
spotted?
I want to say no. There was no vision there.
I feel like this is a moment where Legacy have to use the teleport from Paprise to get something, you know? Maybe it is just mid-priority and a free reset, but you've got a moment where your top laner is here, where he doesn't have teleport, and you have to do something with it right now, because Parbu's about to plant his feet down on the bottom side of the map and say, how did Gangplank get there so quickly? You know, maybe he did teleport. Can we play around that?
Yeah, and that was also, you know, full refresh on health bars, mana pools, items being picked up as well. So Gravitas are as strong as they could possibly be at this stage in the game. Now looking towards this Baron.
Well, they need to zone use for that Vladimir. So he's gone for the Seekers and for the Fiendish Codex.
But also has an NLR.
And he does have a rod that's a little bit too large.
It could be a smaller rod.
It's just needlessly. Who designed that?
I don't know. It's one of the only items that survived. You know,
Wouldn't Wizards make a needlessly small wand?
I imagine different tools for different jobs, right? But you'd have to add the blacksmith, you know? I don't know. Who makes the staves? I guess like the woodworker.
I'm going to say a wizard.
I don't think the wizards make their own staves.
The trees.
The Ents. I mean, I dig that. Praedyth. Just kind of annoying Baron. Ooh, Kralos. Looking for Guts, doesn't quite find it. And on the opposite side of the map, Palbu was just taking the dragon here by himself.
Yeah.
Free objective.
They can't stop him. They won't know that he's low. He'll probably get most of his health back from that Scuttle Crab anyway, actually. There you go. They get themselves the dragon. They're now going to control Vision. Legacy with a moment. They know that someone's at the dragon. They want to fight.
Yeah, 3 versus 5 currently. Hayri just CC'd in place. Praedyth engages though, and here comes Raid standing outside of the pit, just chucking feathers in. Comes out with a feather storm, and that'll be another kill. 2 kills over to Gravitas. Big barrel, but doesn't finish anybody off.
The massive keg was almost just a dissuade. Chaz had to use his ultimate there actually as well. So now that that's not available and with 0 HP, it actually seems like numbers is the name of the game here, and they should just be able to get themselves the Baron. Legacy clearly want the contest. I just don't think they can stop it.
You feel like they have to go for this one, though. Parbu flashes over the wall into the Maelstrom. Looking for those auto attacks, and they just wipe out the rest of Legacy. Triple kill comes out for Parbu.
It's clean from Parbu, making it look like an AP cannon at that as well. He's got the reset. He could also just teleport back to bot lane, which is where he's going. And that's the lane that they're going to attack here. 3 people dead, 35 seconds to work with. And this you would expect is the base broken when all that's left is a support and a 1-4 jungler.
Yeah, unfortunate. A play that they kind of had to go for in the end, you know, because if Baron goes down, then that's essentially lights out. But in the end, it was just worse than that. It was everybody dying. Death time is still there. 15 seconds on top, middle, AD carry. And with 2 lanes being sieged in with Baron buff. This could actually just be game.
Yeah, they're going to threaten right now to end the game. You've not got a lot of time left on the respawns, but these turrets die very quickly. Uppy has to go.
He goes for it, but there's no team really behind him. Unfortunately, Praetor for stepping up to the plate. Throws out the ultimate, tickles Decoy. Here comes Guts, dodged away from by Parvu. Nice E on the backside of that. Guts will go into his Zhonya's. That's the engage once again out from Appy. Chaz goes into the deep end, but knocked up immediately. Still stealthed up. Does get a kill onto the backside, but it's a 1 for 3. Too little, too late, you have to feel. Double kill comes in for Raid, and Gravitas stay in playoff contention.
No blue shells, no red shells to be seen as well today from Legacy. They don't get any upset wins. And Gravitas, they'll stay in the race with 1 day left of games in the OPL regular season. We still do not know who is going to be locked in the gauntlet. And we actually haven't reduced the amount of teams still in the running for that position.
Yeah, I came into this week and people were telling me high chance for tiebreakers, and I came in today and they're like low chance for tiebreakers. And at the end of the day, moderate chance for tiebreakers.
What is Decoy doing? What are all of them doing?
Classic.
Do they know they're on broadcast while they're taking the photos?
I don't know, do they?
That was great.
Yeah, I was told by production, don't think so.
We need to let them know, I think.
No, I don't think we do, actually.
We
Just
see
go
how
and
far they could devolve the
yeah.
photos. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. No
And
one,
we just
no
screenshot
one
it
tell
and we just
Gravitas.
dump it on them all at once.
Because they've teleported to the Legacy room.
I can hear them. Yeah, good game. In the end there from Gravitas, that will be a red side win. And yeah, I mean, you know, obviously must-win game for them right here, going into Legacy, and especially a team like Legacy right now, like you have to be securing those wins 100% of the time, which they did.
They're the stressful games. They're the games where you go against the team that has 1 win all season.
Yep.
You're like, if we lose this one, I swear to God, like,
Please no.
this is not the way we go out. But it was a good, clean game from Gravitas. And the thing is, like, level 1 strategies warp the game quite a bit. And they have a good level 1 invade. They just win through the jungle. And it felt like clockwork for Gravitas, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, congratulations to Gravitas staying in that race. For now, we're going to send it over to Nick Boy with the interview.
He's here! My God. It only took half a split, but we finally get to talk.
Yep.
Take it
After
away.
I played very poorly.
That's fine. No, that's totally fine. You still get the win.
It's all right. I'll take it.
What can you improve on heading in tomorrow personally?
I think for me, I was very nervous this game because like it means a lot getting a win, and like
Just in terms of the stakes of Super Week.
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Like we need like every win we can get for Gauntlet. I think even if we get 2 wins, there's still a chance we don't make it. So just getting every win right now is very, very important for us.
Do you feel like you've got the nerves out of the way today then? Like you've got the win as well. Obviously it was a bit rough against Bombers, but then this one.
Yeah, I
calms a
think
little?
versus Bombers, I was very calm. Like I think I played fairly well, and then this game, I don't know what it was, but yeah, I think the nerves are gone now.
Do you think it's because versus Bombers you were like, look, they're pretty high up. This might not happen for us.
I
but
mean,
with Legacy
yeah,
you were like,
that's probably the
we,
reason. Yeah.
we could take this, and we have to take this at this point. So, because right now you're tied with Avant and Order. There's you guys, 2 points shy of Direwolves. So
It's a close race.
Still all on the line,
Yeah.
man. Do you remember it being this close?
I think last split, it was sort of close. We needed to win 1 game out of 3, and we lost all 3. So it's kind of reminding me of last split, but we got the win versus Legacy this time. So I think tomorrow's just a very important game versus Davos.
You're a happy man. I think I heard you as I was coming down the hallway. You tried to get out of this interview.
No,
Is that you saying?
No,
like,
I didn't.
Are you sure?
Not this time.
Okay, because I had to shout at the entire Gravitas team. Finally, what jersey are you wearing?
I think this is the armor. Armor.
It is?
Yeah, 100%.
I can see that. Yeah, it looks like a strong V.
I
Yeah.
did my research.
Well, you didn't sound very confident. 'Cause you went, I think it's armor. I think it's armor. 100%. It's armor. Anyone who says 100% after they say something, it's not 100%. But what is 100% is the win.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Get some sleep. Get ready for tomorrow. It all happens again. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining me on the couch.
Praelis. Flag drag Cataclysm into top lane, plus with the Maelstrom on top. Pap rides cannot orange out of a Cataclysm, and that will be first blood over to Pabu. Patient with this one, and we'll start resetting. Opening up onto Harry though, but he gets a lot of damage in return. Guts goes into the stopwatch, and Chaz trying to find an avenue into this fight. Jungler's dead. Uses the dash to try and get out of this one, but Praelis is still chasing. Flag drag, flash as well, gets the knock up onto Chaz. Looks for the hop on the wall, but Pabu flashes after the chase. Ease through to close the distance, and auto attacks for the kill. Praelis wants to see if he can get some cleanup kills. Raiders full health. There comes the Gangplank ultimate, but into a Pabu Maelstrom. Whoa, he got one around. Does actually take down the AD carry. Decoy gets stunned up. Praelis dodges out the cask, but these are some very low health bars. And he has the ultimate. Almost claimed 3. Gets the double kill.
That was really close. Harry now trying to fight on the backside as well. Arpi most likely to fall. The Kennen gets out with the smallest amount of health. Got a lot of time left on the respawns, but these turrets die very quickly. Arpi has to go.
He goes for it, but there's no team really behind him. Unfortunately, Praetor for stepping up to the plate. Throws out the ultimate, tickles Decoy. Here comes Guts, dodged away from by Pabu. Nice E on the backside of that. Guts will go into his Zhonya's. That's the engage once again out from Arpi. Chaz goes into the deep end, but knocked up immediately. Still stealthed up. Does get a kill onto the backside, but it's a 1 for 3. Too little, too late, you have to feel. Double kill comes in for Braid, and Gravitas stay in play-up contention.
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Enjoy a delicious small cheeseburger meal with your choice of an apple or raspberry and custard pie for just $4.
A much-needed win for Gravitas. And bringing the ladder again
Closer and
closer, and it's almost like today never happened for most teams.
Yeah, kind of weird.
What can we say? What can we say? What can we say?
I don't know what you're supposed to say to that. You're like, yeah, sure. Like, there's now 3 teams tied for that 5th place. Gravitas has the head-to-head versus Order.
Yep.
Avant have the head-to-head versus Gravitas. And Order and Gravitas are going to play the final, like, 3rd game or something tomorrow. But the final game out of all these teams playing, I'm pretty sure. Gravitas, on the other hand, they play Mammoth first up. Is that right?
They play Direwolves first.
Direwolves first up.
The thing that's weird for me is that, like, we will know kind of there's this weird situation where Order have played 2 games and Gravitas have also played 2 games. And Gravitas actually have played all 3 by the time we see AV again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those situations that due to schedule, it's not like Order plays and AV plays and Gravitas plays and we're going to get the like
the build,
what's
the
gonna
hype,
happen.
the hype, the hype.
It's just like Gravitas is like done. AV's like we've only played a single game and then it will be interesting.
Because the situation goes, and without the faulty sheets, just leave it as simple as possible, right? So if Avant win both their games, they're in. They're uncatchable.
Yep.
They're on too many points. If Gravitas lose their game and Order win against Avant, Order in, there is no other scenarios. If Gravitas win their game and Avant loses their games, then Gravitas goes through. Like, that's as simple as it is. There are 3-way tie scenarios, which is when people start winning and losing. But the most basic is the only team with Destiny still in their own hands is Avant Gaming.
Yep.
Outright.
Yeah.
They're not relying on anything else apart from themselves winning their 2 games.
Yeah. And I mean, we also skipped over the game that just happened, right? Like went straight to ladder match.
Say,
but this is kind of like the one thing for me that like stands out early, in the early games is Praelis and like the aggression coming out of this guy. This is like I know in person, like super nice guy, but was never like the in your face jungler. This is late invade with your bot lane, walk to the wolves, you're flagging away. Guts is like second camp and you're just chasing him around the jungle. This looks like a new age Gravitas that are starting things incredibly early on into the game.
Yeah, and it looked really good from Praelis. And what I would say is that this was a game where you could have had a jungle shutout if everyone was on the same page from your team. If Decoy and Rage just push the way they did and then drop into Fog of War and guard that blue buff, there is a situation where Guts legitimately gets 2 minor camps on his whole first clear and he's forced out of every other camp on the map. Like it's 8 to 40 CS or something like that, like across the board because of how well Praelis played it. And then Pabu lending the necessary support on the top side. But there is a job for your weak side to do. I actually thought that the fact that they didn't go for that left them open to a little bit of a gank. I think that is an area where like Totor and Raze, if you do that and you don't defend the blue, they just gank your bottom lane, take your bottom side jungle, and you kind of have just split the map that way. So I think that really good job from Praelis, really good job from the bottom side of the map. Got to be able to pull Decoy and Raid into that play. The other person that I was really surprised by is Harry Kang. Harry in the mid lane on the Vladimir had a really, really good showing. Overextended a little bit. He's still a young player, but this is a guy that was like bullying around Chaz in the mid lane in a pretty 50-50 matchup in my eyes, at least. And seems to be looking the goods right now. I think that if their top side of the map stays that strong, they're a legitimate shot to be able to beat Direwolves.
Also, random fact, have we seen an AD cannon in the OPL like get that strong? I feel like we've seen so many AD cannons get boomed, and then DOS, like big swips, was like the AD AP cannon flash on your backline and save the Nexus.
Tally played against Mimic the second time we played Bombers.
Yeah, okay.
And ran over the top.
Okay. Because there was a point where he's got like the Gwinsus, he's got like 3 items, and I'm just like, damn, like on competitive stage, like this is a pick that is obviously like much better in scrims than has been on stage. And is like, it hit that point, and I'm just like, oh god, like
Mimic's had a couple of them as well, I think.
Yeah.
Like I would say, like, but certainly like up there with the other 2 guys, if not like a better performance. Into what, to my knowledge, you know, obviously we just picked into it, a pretty good game plank matchup now because you feel like you can play in the wave and stack up Grasp with the Undying, and
you're safe enough.
Cannon draws so much creep aggro early game that your parlay with Grasp, and you always have Grasp up on your parlay, is like a good enough trade back tool to be able to actually go 50-50 with the cannon. So, like, obviously, Parbu played it really, really well.
Yeah.
Why are you giggling?
Nick's making weird faces at me.
About parlays?
No. This is just my normal faces. All right. Well done, Gravitas. It's going to be a very eventful day tomorrow. One which I will not be here for, actually.
Good riddance.
I got my months confused, and one of my best friends is getting married tomorrow. I thought it was next month, so Nicky's going bye-bye for tomorrow.
Have you got a suit?
Man.
I do have a suit.
What does it look like? Paint your suit with your words.
Blue.
Blue. Is it the one you wore last year at MBO?
No.
Okay.
Different blue. I look dope, though. I look straight fine. Okay, let's take a look at the results from today. Let's take a look at that big board. So many results. Direwolves, the upset against Avant, game number 1. Mammoth take down Order for game 2. Chiefs take out Legacy for game 3. Gravitas cannot stand up to Bombers for game 4. Order versus
real
Chiefs.
upset.
The real upset for game
never in
5.
doubt.
And then Gravitas victorious over Legacy for game 6. Let's head into the schedule for tomorrow. We'll skip the standings because they're very weird because there's an uneven amount of games played. Gravitas versus Direwolves, game number 1. Avant take on Mammoth. Bombers versus Direwolves. And it's Order, Avant, Legacy, and Mammoth. Bombers versus Chiefs. I mean, there are some games
Like,
there.
first 4, when you get to the back end, like Bombers, Chiefs, like they can't catch each other. Legacy Mammoth, Legacy Mammoth, a bit of a dead rubber, but like everything before that point is like playoff implications. Gravitas versus Direwolves, you have AV, can they get the victory over Mammoth? Direwolves, and then Order AV to like round out what will be the middle of the pack. That's going to be the clincher.
Well, the games I'm super interested for is if Avant can somehow upset Mammoth, and Mammoth have looked better but not infallible still, then that last game of Bombers versus Chiefs can nearly be second spot, right?
That's true.
So I think like there are so many playoff implications for even the top of the table tomorrow. Mammoth, Bombers, and Chiefs are in this situation where they have to keep winning. And it's keeping the middle of the pack really honest. Obviously, now Chiefs played 2 games today. They don't have to keep winning. They're just coasting for the time being. But everyone else in that top 7, like obviously second down all the way down to 7, just has to keep winning. There's so much on the line right now to be able to get that done.
All right, well, it's going to be a big day tomorrow. We are looking forward to it. It's going to be a big day for me as well. Entirely different reasons. Also, there was no MPL tonight because it has been a very big day. Super week, 6 games.
I'm sad about that. I really feel, after watching OPL, I really feel like playing League of Legends. Now I got to drive all the way home.
It's the amuse.
God damn it.
It's the amuse bouche of the evening. It's the palate cleanser.
The what?
The amuse bouche.
Is that a word?
The palate cleanser. The amuse bouche.
Stop saying it.
Remember that?
And then most importantly, stop saying it like that.
What correctly? Amuse bouche. Use that in your next Scrabble game. We'll be back for more League of Legends action tomorrow. And the reason we are back is because of our wonderful sponsors. They are McDonald's, the official partner of the OPL, M-Wave, the official retailer of the OPL, HyperX, the official headset of the OPL, and Amuse Bouche.
the official Amuse Bouche.
The official
of the
palate
OPL.
cleanser of the OPL. It's basically like the French It's a French word. Amuse-bouche. It literally means mouth amuser, which is how I like to describe all of us.
It doesn't sound French, which means you're
And
saying it wrong.
Good news is I'm going to be hosting tomorrow, so we can end the stream right here.